Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvi Navadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. May the Lord protect us both, the teacher and the taught, together by revealing knowledge. May the Lord protect us both by giving us the results of knowledge. May we attain vigor together. Let what we study be illuminating. May we not cavil at each other. Om, peace, peace, peace. So we were on the fifth mantra. So this is chapter 2, section 2, fifth mantra, 225. So the fourth mantra, if you remember, was said that when the physical body dies, the subtle body with the reflected consciousness travels from this body to another body, to different lokas, will take birth again. This is the so-called theory of reincarnation, multiple births. Atma as such, real nature, it doesn't travel, doesn't come, doesn't go. But it is reflected or appears to be limited in the subtle body, and that travels. Physical body is destroyed, destroyed at death. Now, a question can be raised, then why at all talk about consciousness? Life and death are all matters of prana, of life, the life forces. In Indian languages, all Indian languages, we say when somebody dies, the prana has gone. So when the prana is there, it's a living being, and somehow we have conscious experiences, and the prana goes away, the body dies, and there are no more conscious experiences, and that's the end. Why drag in Atman, Brahman, consciousness? Isn't prana enough to explain life? Isn't prana, the subtle body, isn't it enough to explain life? You have a mind-body system, and that's it. Why again bring in something called consciousness, separate from mind, separate from body? Bring in something called Atman or Brahman. Now the fifth mantra takes up this question. It says that actually prana, which are the life forces, even they are not really responsible for life. It is consciousness alone which is responsible for life. It is the Atman or Brahman alone which is responsible for life. That's the fifth mantra. We'll read that now. Na pranena na panena matyo jivati kaschana itarena tu jivanti yasmin eto upashrito. No mortal lives by prana or apana, but all live by something else due to which these two find asylum. Okay. Prana and apana here are two functions of prana. Prana are the physiological forces which keep this body alive. So when you say pranayama, control of prana, it is meant, what is meant is control of these vital energies. But because the only thing that is directly available to us for controlling is the breath. So pranayama, control of the prana, starts with the control of the breath. Many people think pranayama means only control of the breath. No, it is to get control of the physiological forces in this body by starting with the control of the prana. But anyway, the prana has 5 like sub functions or 5 sub pranas. Prana is a force, the life force, the vital force, and it has 5 sub forces. So there is prana, there is apana, there is vyana, udana, and samana, and each of them, they've performed different physiological functions in this body. So those who practice Ayurveda, they know much more about this. He just takes, for example, 2 of these functions, prana and apana, by which he means all of the pranas. Pancha prana, we call it pancha prana. Pancha prana means prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. 5 functions, 5 subsets of the pranic function. Now he says, actually we don't live because of that. that is quite a remarkable statement to make, because it seems to be a fact that body lives because of prana. I mean, it is not living in itself. This prana enters into it, makes it a living body. And when it cannot host the prana anymore, maybe the body is too old, too damaged, then the prana leaves it. So this is how life and death is usually understood, even in Ayurveda and other and yoga. But here he's saying, you look a little more deeply, it's not even prana. The very experience of life, the experience of living, which we have, all of us right now, it's not really due to prana. It's due to consciousness. It's due to the Atman. And it's in fact due to the presence of consciousness, due to the presence of the Atman, that the prana and the sense organs and the body, they all cooperate to produce this experience of living. Shankaracharya, in explaining this, this mantra, he uses an old Sanken principle. The Sanken principle is this. I'll tell you the Sanskrit original, then translate. Sanken principle is this. Sanghata pararthatvad. All compound things exist for the sake of something apart from them. All compounded things exist for the sake of something independent of that. So, for example, a classic example they give is of a house. So a house exists, and there are doors and windows, there's a floor, there is a ceiling, there are different rooms with different functions. Now they don't exist for each other. The door doesn't exist for the window doesn't exist for the ceiling, the living room does not exist for the bedroom. No, in fact, all of that exists for you, and you are not part of the house. So this entire compounded thing, this complex thing, a house, it has been set up for the use of some entity which is distinct from that house. Similarly, here is this living body, senses, prana, the mind, memory, intellect, all of these functions, all of these capacities, powers, mechanisms, this is a compounded thing like a house. And it's there because of you, the consciousness. It's there to serve your purpose. It's been designed to give you experiences. And it functions only because you are there. Otherwise, it would fall apart. A good example is, if the question somebody persists, that no, I mean, you might say consciousness is important, true, but you are going too far if you say life exists because of consciousness. Life can exist without consciousness also. Someone might be living and quite unconscious if the brain is damaged, for example, in coma. But, as long as prana is there, we'll say the person is living. When the prana goes away, we say the person is dead. So prana is essential. The life forces are essential for life, not consciousness, not Atman. Well, that's not true. It's like, say, the moon at night. If the moon is there, we get moonlight. If the moon is not there, we don't get moonlight. A new moon night or something. So you say it is the moon which is the cause of illumination. See, it satisfies the criterion of logic. If moon is there, we get light at night. If moon is not there, we don't get light at night. Moon is not there means it's in the new moon, in the phase of the moon bed. It does not, it's not illumined. Now, that would be obviously wrong, because we know that the moon is not the source of light. Whenever we get moonlight, it's because of the sunlight being reflected of the moonlight. The sun is the source of the light. So sunlight is the cause of illumination at night, and it uses the moon. And if the moon is rightly positioned, it can reflect light back to the earth and illumine the earth at night. Similarly, if the prana is functioning in the body, it reflects consciousness. It means subtle body, in which prana plays a primary role. The subtle body reflects consciousness, and therefore all the activities of the subtle body, mind thinks, intellect understands, memory remembers, the ego does its thing by saying I, and prana is like the engine which energizes the entire living system. All of it is lit up by the reflected consciousness. Like the moon reflecting light onto the dark earth at night, the subtle body, including the prana, where prana is central, it reflects consciousness back into this body-mind system and illumines it. But prana is not central. Even subtle body is not central. We have the experience of light, of life. We have this experience of living, all these living experiences because of consciousness, not really because of prana. Can you then consciousness give you the experiences without prana, without mind, without intellect? No, it cannot. It cannot. Just as the sun cannot directly illumine the earth at night, it needs, when the face of the earth is turned away from the sun, then the face of the earth, which is turned away from the sun, it needs the moon to reflect moonlight. So at night, when the sunlight is not directly illumining the earth, you need moonlight. And moonlight it needs the moon in the proper position. Similarly, subtle body is needed in order to illumine these objects, the external world and our internal world of thoughts. But that is what is now here being said, that even prana, because in all the systems of thought, prana is supposed to be the source of life. He says, if you look closely, prana is not the source of the light by which we have experiences of living. Na pranena na panena martyo jivati kaschana. No mortal being actually is alive because of prana, apana, all these functions of prana. They are all alive because of consciousness. Itarena tu jivanti, by something else. Itara means something else. There is something else because of which these bodies are living. Yena asmin yasmin eto upashrito. And in that something else, even prana and apana and all these functions, the senses, they all have their existence because of that. And they all are illumined and they all function because of the presence of that. That's the point he wants to make here. Now back to the actual topic. What was the actual topic? The actual topic was Atman, Brahman. That's what Nachiketa asked. What happens at the point of death? And what is the real nature of this self? This is the actual question, the third boon which he asked, and later on he sharpened it to make a precise question about the self. So back to the question about Atma, Brahma, and death. The sixth mantra. Hantata idam pravakshami guhyam brahma sanatanam yatha cha maranam prapya atma bhavati Gautama. Well, O Gautama, I shall tell you of this secret, eternal Brahman, and also how the self fares after death. So the two central themes of the third, the boon which Nachiketa, little boy, asked Yama, what happens after death? And basically, what's my real nature? So he's coming back to that topic. He says, Hanta. So once again, let us now again discourse on Brahman and Atman. And the commentator says that because the matter is so subtle, it needs repetition in various ways. So Yama, the Lord of Death, is again going to go over the same point. Who are we? Our real nature. In the following very important mantras, very poetic, very powerful mantras. These are some of the best in the entire Upanishadic literature, which talk about our essential nature, our real nature, who we are. What am I going to tell you? Pravakshami, I will teach you, I will talk to you about it. Guhyam Brahma Sanatanam. One topic is, I will talk to you about Brahman, the ultimate reality, which you asked. And notice the adjectives which he uses. This Brahman is Sanatanam, eternal. And it is Guhyam, it's secret. Now it's interesting, the juxtaposition of these two things. This ultimate reality we are going to talk about is eternal. It's always there. It was there. Your real nature was always there in the past. It's there right now. It will continue to be there forever. Bodies will come and go. Lives will come. Birth and death will come and go. Even civilizations will rise and fall. The earth will revolve around the sun so many times. But Brahman, the ultimate nature of the universe, will continue, and we might say, what good is that to me? Well, it is your nature, it's you. You will continue forever. It's eternal. Not only is it eternal, there's also science not only that it's not limited in time. Sanatana means eternal, not limited in time, but not limited in space also. It's everywhere. It is the only reality that there is, here and there, wherever. Right here, that reality is there. And it's everybody and everything, whatever we experience, whoever we see, and we ourselves, we are that. And yet, it's secret. It's guhyam, it's hidden, it's secret. The juxtaposition of these two is interesting. Something that is forever and right now, something that is everywhere and here, something that is everything, including you yourself. It's really you. It's you here, now, and forever, everywhere and everything, and yet it's secret because we don't see it at all. If it's right now and right here, and if it's me or I, in some way, I should know it. It should be the first thing that I'm aware of. It should be the first thing that's clear. No, it's secret. So Guhyam and Sanatanam together. I was just thinking a few days back, I was walking in Central Park, and I see these guides who show people around and say, this is the Bow Bridge, this is the Bethesda Fountain, and this is the literary walk, and they show groups of people are telling them, showing them. I was thinking, there are different categories of people. There are those who come into the park, tourists. I see so many of them. They come into the park, they walk around, and they see these places. I see they're taking pictures. They don't know what they're seeing, but they're seeing. They're so beautiful. They take pictures. And then so they have seen it. They have seen these places, but they don't know what they have seen. And then there are those who have read about it in a brochure, maybe, or on a website, but they haven't seen the places, but they know about these places. And there are those who come with a guide and they see the places and they know what they are seeing. So the Upanishad is like the guide. The Guru and the Upanishad, the text, the Vedanta teaching tradition is like the guide. It tells us, the Brahman is continuously available to us, but it tells us what you need to know, what you are seeing. Then only the result will come. See, the people who have walked through the park, and they have actually seen, but afterwards it doesn't do them any benefit, because when they hear about these wonderful places in Central Park, they are not very sure whether they know it or not, whether they have seen it or not, you know. And there are those who have read it, but they have actually not visited the place. So they are clear. There are certain things which the book tells me about, but I have not seen it yet. It is the one with the guide who actually visits, who sees, and also knows. Now, this corresponds to, there are mystics who may stumble upon these things. And they have certain experiences, but they don't know what it is. And then they don't get the benefit from it. They either keep seeking, or it's like a person who, Upanishad says this, a person who passes over buried treasure. So there's gold or jewelry buried underground, and you pass over it again and again in search of that treasure, but you never find it. But you're passing over it right there. And so people, we pass over that reality all the time, but we don't notice it. We are like the people who are wandering around in Central Park without a guide. And there are people who have not even noticed it, and they have read about it in books. So there are people who have read philosophy, who have attended classes, taken extensive notes, but they always have the feeling that there's something to be experienced further. It is the one with the guide who knows, I have seen it and I know what it is. Why am I saying this? You know what our condition is like? Here's a crucial thing. Most of us would say, I have attended the classes, I have read the books, and I have yet to experience it. I am like that person who the Swami said, who has read a brochure or seen a website about Central Park, but actually hasn't visited Central Park. Well, no. Most of us, we are actually like that other group who are continuously wandering around in Central Park, but they don't know what they are seeing. All that you need is the guide to tell you, here it is. This is what Advaita Vedanta says. The path of mysticism, extraordinary yogic experiences, visions of God and all, that will be the kind where you need to actually visit the place. You have read about it, but you need to visit the place. And that requires sadhana, and you'll have these extraordinary experiences. Advaita Vedanta says, not even that. Not even that. You just need to pay attention to the experience you are already having. I was part of a discussion today with a couple of neuroscientists, from different universities, Buddhist practitioners. And the whole discussion was, how can we make these spiritual experiences acceptable to modern science, neuroscience, cognitive science and all. And when I said, see, the huge problem with this is, it is, you'll immediately reduce it to brain function. A neuroscientist might say that, I don't doubt that you are experiencing oneness or you're experiencing light. You are experiencing it, but that does not mean that there is really oneness or there is really any light or anything like that. So that is one problem. That is the materialist basis. The other problem is, you are continuously talking about extraordinary experience. You means we spiritual practitioners talk about extraordinary experience. I had this vision of God. I had that experience of light. I saw these visions, or I felt like that. All of that makes scientists skeptical. They say that maybe there is something wrong with your brain, or maybe you were high on weed or marijuana or something, or nowadays, what is it? Psilocybin, something like that. Some drug is there. It's very popular among neuroscientists now. So they are all taking the drug, and not all, some are taking the drug and seeing its effects and studying it. And they will not take the experiences seriously. But Advaita Vedanta doesn't do that. Advaita Vedanta says, just take the experience which you are having already. If you are awake, if you dream, and if you fall asleep, then you are already in Central Park. You're already seeing those sites. But now we just need to introduce you to the sites there. Then Upanishad will come and say, so this is what is called the waker and the waking world. This is what is called the dreamer and the dream world. This is the experience of deep sleep. And you, to whom all these experiences are happening, you are the untouched awareness in which these experiences come and go. And then notice the nature of this awareness, and you will get the results of spiritual, what is promised in Advaita Vedanta. This is the method of Advaita Vedanta. I tried to point it out to them. I don't think it cut much ice. It's difficult to get. This is a subtle point, but it makes it so direct and so powerful and gives you a huge relief. Otherwise, what happens is, you either to take it on belief. Religion says so, Guru says so, there is some God, some kind of thing is there, and I have to believe it, and someday it will happen. Or you have to take it on this certain amount of very strenuous practices, which will lead to some mystical experiences, then only. But why not the experience we're having right now? You're already walking around in Central Park, and the Upanishad is pointing out. Anyway, that's why it's secret. It's like the tourist who's clueless and wandering around in Central Park and seeing the places he wants to see, but he doesn't know what it is. And that's why you can say, here it is, eternally present, the Bow Bridge and the Bethesda fountain, and yet secret. Secret because nobody's pointed it out to you. Then I will tell you that. Yama says, I will be your Central Park guide, your guide to enlightenment. I will point it out to you in your experience. In your experience, straight away, right now, you'll be enlightened about Brahman. The question you asked, I'll say, this is it. I will point it out. And also, the mystery of death, I will comment on that. He says, Yathacha maranam prapya atma bhavati Gautama. And for those who are not enlightened, the second point he will raise is for those who are not enlightened, what happens at death? What goes on at death for the unenlightened? That also I will tell you. So he's going to tell us in the next couple of mantras what happens at death for the unenlightened. He will talk about that first. And if you are fortunate enough to become enlightened, then what is Brahman? What happens to you, or what are you then? How do you become enlightened? He will point that out. So these two subjects will come up next. 7. Mantra number 7. Yoni manye prapadyante sharirattvaya dehina sthanu manye anusangyanti yatha karma yatha shrutam. Some souls enter the womb for acquiring bodies, and others follow the motionless in accordance with their work and in conformity with their knowledge. All right, that needs some decoding. Who are these? What are we talking about? We're talking about the unenlightened. Those who have not realized their true nature. What will happen to them at the point of death? He gives 2 options here. One is yoni manye prapadyante sharirattvaya dehina. Not realizing that they are the unchangeable Atman, the secret, eternal Brahman. They think, I am this person, and now I'm dying. Well, he will not die. He will not die. That's the first good news. The physical body will die, and when the physical body, the gross body dies, the subtle body, which includes the prana, is set free from the physical body. And then what will happen to it? It will not die. It continues. It will carry forward. It will be propelled by its past karma, and some form of past karma will fructify, giving it a new birth, a new set of experiences. And that birth, so to have experiences, you need a body. The subtle body is not enough. Physical body is needed to get experiences in this world. But that body need not be a human body. Often it is, but it need not be. So the first one is it gets a human birth or even an animal birth because of past karma. Yoni manye prapadyanti, enters into the womb of the mother. For what purpose? Sharirattvaya, in order to acquire a body. Why would it acquire a body? In order to get the experiences. Why would it get experiences? Because past karmas are powerful. They're about to give results. Causes are there, consequences must follow. Causes are there, effects must come. The effect will be experience for us, good karma, happiness, bad karma, unhappiness, happiness, unhappiness, pleasure and pain. That requires a body. So the subtle body will now become active when the physical body is acquired. For that purpose, this being, the subtle body, is thrust into the womb of the mother and born in an animal body. Need not be a human body. Could be some other animal body also. And Shankaracharya comments there. He says, these fools, mudaha, ignorant fools. Ignorant in the sense they do not realize who they are or what their true nature. And so they are swept along because in the stream of past karma. Even worse, sthanu manye anusangyanti. There are those who are the worst. Worst means they have got very bad karma coming up. And that bad karma thrusts them into, says, the motionless. Sthanu means the motionless. Not rocks and stones, but trees and creepers and all. In that sense, motionless. So the lowest of births, where they have the minimum chance of doing anything at all. Just experience some kind of dull existence for a while, and maybe for a long time. And then when that body is destroyed, come back again in some other form. So these two forms, one is human birth, or worse, an animal birth, and the other one is even worse, the worst of all possibilities, some very low birth, maybe like a plant or a creeper or something. So why not a stone or a rock? Or in general, that rock or stone and all of this, table and chair, they are not regarded as jivas. They don't have subtle bodies. You cannot have experiences of pleasure and pain in a what is called a jara body. That means a non-living body. A living body means prana must be there. Prana is there means that must be a subtle body which gives you sense organs and a mind to have some kind of experience. In a human body, the sense organs and mind become very active and very capable. So we have multiplicity of experiences and capacity to reflect on those experiences, learn and change, become better or worse. In animal bodies, you just have experiences. You cannot become better or worse. And plant bodies, even the experiences become very limited. But all of those are temporary. And then one will again come back to human form and work out their karma. Now, this going to different births after the physical death, an unenlightened person, the ignorant person goes to different births. Is there any rhyme or reason behind it? Is there any guiding rule, some principle behind it? And the Upanishad says, yatha karma yatha shrutam, as their past karma is, number one. But mysteriously, it also adds, as their knowledge or understanding is. Now, there's a technical meaning of yatha shrutam. It's like this, yatha karma yatha shrutam, this term, literally if you translate, depending on the ritual, the Vedic rituals performed and the Vedic meditations performed. I'll repeat again, that sounds mysterious. You are thrust into new lives depending on your fund of Vedic rituals performed and Vedic upasana or meditations performed. So yatha karma, karma here means Vedic rituals. Also, of course, our secular karma. And also Vedic meditations, yatha shrutam. That is what is meant by according to their knowledge. This is a term that comes up again and again in Upanishads and in the Vedas. What happens to us in our future lives? Well, depending upon the amount of religious merit you have accumulated, you will go to different heavens and you will be born in a more favorable human birth afterwards to work out your enlightenment. What do you mean the accumulation of religious merit? Well, it will have two kinds, karma and upasana. Karma means the Vedic rituals, the karma kanda. Upasana means the Vedic meditations which were used to be done in those days, mostly now obsolete. But there is a problem here. The problem is, it does not talk about, this is not talking about going to heaven and getting favorable human births because you've done Vedic rituals and Vedic meditations. It's talking about going to basically animal births or plant births. So here karma might just mean your past karma, and yatha shrutam, it might not mean meditations. It might mean, like the commentator also leaves it rather vague. Vijnanam, the level of understanding. Let's put it this way. I was thinking what it could mean. Just our level of spiritual evolution. At what stage we are in our journey to enlightenment. And we might get different bodies according to that. But anyway, that doesn't concern us. Because why doesn't it concern us? Because we are all going to be enlightened, right? So we are not going to go down that path. We are all going to become enlightened. No, really, even if we do not become enlightened in this life, the very fact that we have engaged in a pursuit of enlightenment, Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, those who have started on this path with conviction and seriousness, there is no backsliding for them. They are protected and they will go on. Maybe it might take time, but whatever they have practiced, whatever they have attained is stored up for them, and that will come in the very next life and take over and propel you further. It's not like other past karma. One might say that, well, that's no big deal. All past karma is retained and it's all there. So if I do some spiritual reading and meditation and prayer, what's there to wonder at? That will be there also. But no, this is different. Krishna says in the very next life, when you are born again, this karma, not all the other past karma, this karma, this spiritual seeking, this will come to your help. And you will start your spiritual journey again from wherever you left off. And this is the worst case. The best case is you become enlightened in this very life itself, here and now. The next best case is what is called krama mukti, sequential liberation. You don't become enlightened here, but you're sufficiently advanced enough that you go to Brahmaloka, and from there itself you get moksha. Or, as Krishna says, you have an extraordinary birth as a yogi. There are people like that who are highly spiritual from their childhood onwards. So you get a birth like that. You are a yogi in your past birth. So those are very fortunate. And these are the alternatives open to us. That's the path we are going down, not what he just said in the sixth. I'm not going to become a rabbit or a pumpkin plant or something like that. Then, more to the point, the eighth mantra will talk about our real nature. Yama had told Nachiketa that I'm going to tell you these two things. What happens to the unenlightened at death? And he is pretty harsh. He'll become a plant or an animal. All right. And what happens? So then we'll immediately say, all right, I'd rather be enlightened. I don't want to become an animal or a plant. Good. How do you become enlightened? You realize that you're Brahman. What's Brahman? It's right here, just like showing you Central Park right here. I'll tell you about it. Listen. Eighth mantra. Yaesha supteshu jagarti kamang kamang purusho nirmimana tadeva shukram tad brahma tadeva amritamuchyate tasmin loka shrita sarve tadu natyeti kaschana etadvaitat. That Purusha indeed who keeps awake and goes on creating desirable things even when the senses fall asleep, it is pure, and he is Brahman, and he is called immortal. All the worlds are fixed on him, none can transcend him. This indeed is that. Powerful mantra. First of all, he is going to point out Brahman in our own experience, like the guide points out, look, here is Bow Bridge in Central Park, and you're seeing it. You're taking pictures and selfies and whatnot. So he's going to point out Brahman like that. Says, Esha supteshu jagati kamang kamang purusha nirmimana. What he says is, when you fall asleep, the body goes to sleep. You can see the guy is on the bed and snoring, and the senses fall asleep. You don't see, don't hear, don't smell, taste, touch, nothing. The motor organs are asleep. You don't walk around unless you're a sleepwalker. But you don't walk, you don't talk, you don't grab things. All your the motor organs are also inactive. So the senses and the mind, they become quiescent. They quieten down. They stop functioning for a while. And I mean, the mind is not engaged with the external world. And yet you are not asleep. You, the consciousness, which experienced the world when the senses were working, you now experience a world created by the dreaming mind. He says, kamam kamam nirmimana. The desirable objects, whatever I wanted to get, whatever I was tempted by in the waking world, but I could not get. And the mind projects that in the dream world. Whatever I was terrified by, anxious about in the waking world, those terrors come to me in the dream world. So the dreaming mind, it takes up materials and experiences from the waking world and designs a virtual world, a dream world for me. And I, the same consciousness which experienced the waking world through the senses, now experiences a dream world generated by the mind. Based on what material? Material drawn from the waking experiences. And he says, kamam kamam, desirable things in the world. Whatever enjoyments I wanted, I could not get, those I project in the dream. But equally the opposite, whatever terrors and anxieties and fears are there, which there in the waking world, they become real in the dream world. Few days ago, I was dreaming that there was a Zoom class and I was unable to connect to Zoom, and the class had started, and so that is the anxiety that is coming from the waking world and projected. To whom? To the same consciousness. And when that dreaming world, mind also goes to sleep. See, senses, the body has gone to sleep, senses have gone to sleep, mind also goes to sleep. Mind cannot generate any more dreams. You are still awake. You are the one waker who has no sleep at all. And say insomnia, not insomnia. You are the one consciousness which knows no sleep. You are the one, that light which has no night. You live in the world of eternal daylight and eternal sunshine. What is that eternal sunshine? Consciousness, you yourself. It's very simple to see. I mean, a simple experiment. Eyes are open, and I am having the experience of seeing. Consciousness illumines the experience of seeing these forms. Now close your eyes. Now there is no experience of seeing, but that itself is an experience of not seeing. The absence of these forms, that's also revealed by consciousness. I was conscious when the eyes were open and getting all these experiences of seeing many things. Now when the eyes are closed, I don't see anything. And that is also a kind of seeing. That's also a kind of experience. You try it yourself. You see, you as a conscious entity, you don't change at all if your eyes are open, if your eyes are closed. Just the objects presented to you change. A variety of forms and colors and shapes were presented to you. And your mind starts working on that, churning up, collating, classifying, calling up memories based on the forms presented to you, the consciousness. Shut your eyes, those forms will disappear. And the mind may calm down, but you, the consciousness, remain the same. You are ever awake. Ya supteshu jagati. In deep sleep, that which is awake. In dreams, that which creates a virtual world based on waking experiences. And waking, we know, that which engages with an apparently external world through mind and sense organs. That eternal waker, that unflickering light, you are that right now. You are that. This is Tadeva Shukram, that's pure. That's pure light. That's pure consciousness. Shukram literally means white. That's like white light, like white radiance. I had quoted Aurobindo, the white glare of a immortal gaze. White glare of an immortal gaze. That white glare of the immortal gaze, which is the immortal gaze? You, the Atman. You are always awake, always shining forth. If the world is presented to you, the senses, good, that you call it a waking experience. If the senses shut down and the mind generates dreams, good, you call it a dream. If the mind shuts down, senses are shut down, deep sleep falls upon you, blank, quiet, calm, good, you are still shining without any flicker. That one, right now, it is pure consciousness. Tad Shukram, Tadeva Shukram, that alone is pure. Pure in what sense? In two senses. The deep philosophical meaning of it is pure consciousness, consciousness itself without any content. Right now, consciousness has contents. It has forms and smell and touch and taste and sound. Not only that, even more insidious, it has thoughts and ideas and opinions and memories, identifications. These are the contents of consciousness, and some of those contents are pure, many are impure. Impure means worldly, contaminated by anger and lust and greed, kama, krodha, lobha, spite and jealousy, regret and unhappiness and anxiety. All kinds of impurities contaminate. In dream also the same thing happens. But consciousness in itself has none of these contaminants. Good example is light. The same sunlight shines upon the Ganga, the pure water of the Ganga flowing by. And it also shines upon the drain water which is polluted. But the light shining on the Ganga is not made more pure by shining on the Ganga. It's not made impure by shining on the drain water. The light is pure in itself. It is, consciousness is pure in the sense of that light. The light illumines what it shines upon, but is not affected by what it shines upon. Similarly, consciousness reveals whatever is presented to it, whether it be forms or sounds or smells or taste or touch or thought or idea, opinion, memory, emotion, feelings. Whatever comes to it, it illumines, but it's not affected by any of it. Just like light shining on the objects, not affected by the objects it illumines. It illumines, but not affected. Just like space. Space is expansive and gives space. Space gives space to everything. All physical objects exist in space, but space is not affected by those physical objects. Now, I know, I'm given an example. Immediately you'll say, you are very Newtonian. You have no idea of Einsteinian relativity. You know, the supermassive objects, they can bend space, and okay, that's fine. But I'm just giving an example. In general, you don't see that space is not touched by the actions and items and objects within it. So in that sense, space, like that, there are examples. Light is an example, space is an example. Like that, you are not at all touched. You're not made impure by the contents. In that sense, tadeva shukram, it is pure. I said in two senses it is pure. One is it's not affected at all by the contents. It's pure in itself. The second sense in which it's pure is the common sense understanding of purity. Purity, common sense understanding is that which is holy and sacred, that which is free of negativities, anger, lust, greed, guilt, all those things, negativities, it's free. Consciousness is, in that very common sense way of purity, consciousness is completely pure, always. Right now, it's pure. You are pure. Tadeva shukram, you alone are pure. And in fact, it is the only thing that is pure. No object can ever be pure. Objects always interact with each other. Even the purest of states can deteriorate into an impure state, and impure states can become purified into more highly pure states, and they keep changing. But you, the consciousness, you're completely unaffected by the changes. So you are pure in that second sense, the common sense idea of pure, that it is good, that it is not colored by greed or lust or anger. Yes, in that sense also it's pure. Tadeva shukram. Tad amritam, it is immortal. Immortal in the sense beyond death. It is beyond birth, beyond death, beyond production, beyond destruction, beyond causality. Birth and death, due to what? Karma. What is karma? Nothing but causality, cause and effect. The moment you say it is amritam, beyond death, that means it's beyond birth also. Beyond birth and beyond death, beyond production, beyond destruction. It means it is not touched by cause and effect. Cause and effect are the magic show of Brahman. It's your magic show by which the world, the web of the world is spun out. The film is projected upon you. The movie is projected. In the movie, there is causality. There are reasons why the, quote unquote reasons why the hero has to undergo so much suffering, why the villain behaves in such and such dark ways. There are reasons, but it's a movie. That's the important thing. You, the screen on which the movie is playing, you, the radiance on which the movie is shining, you are untouched by the causality of the movie. The good and the bad of the movie do not touch you, but they are entirely dependent on you. Without you, they wouldn't exist. It's your show. Congratulations. You are the producer, director, the hero, the villain, and yet none of it. None of it. So, tadeva amritam. Amritam means immortal, beyond birth and death, beyond production and destruction, beyond change, beyond causality, beyond cause and effect, beyond karma. Swami Vivekananda says, good, good, bad, bad, none escape the law. but whosoever wears a form must wear the chain too. That was the message of the seventh mantra. What will happen to the unenlightened? To animal wombs they go, to plants and creepers they go. But what will happen to the enlightened? Swami Vivekananda says, far beyond name and form is Atman ever free. Know thou art that. So Atman ever free. Free of what? Free of the bonds of karma, free of the bonds of causality. And therefore Amritam, immortal. Nothing in this world can be immortal. No body, physical body can ever be immortal. No thought, mind can ever be immortal, because mind is continuously changing, body is continuously changing. No physical state can ever be immortal. No subtle state can ever be immortal. Even the causal state of Maya, which is eternal, but it's always changing. But Atman, is it static, unchanging? Actually, not even that. Even the concept of change doesn't apply to it. It's not a changing or unchanging. It's that upon which this change and no change, they play their roles in the movie. So Tad Amritam. What is that then? What are we talking about? Tad Brahma. Brahma means the vast. That is the vast. And this has to be pointed out. This is the Mahavakya. Tat Tvamasi. You are that reality. See, when you say you are the one consciousness which in the waking state engages with the mind and the body and experiences the world, the same consciousness, completely untouched by the problems coming and going of the waking state, you now experience dreams. And now the same consciousness, you now experience the calmness, quietness, darkness of deep sleep. And again, the waking state. You are that one consciousness. You say, great. That sounds wonderful. But insidiously, in our mind, there will be the suggestion, I am that consciousness. But look, there are so many people here. So that means they also must be like a consciousness like that. So there are many consciousnesses. But no, not many consciousnesses. He says, Tad Brahma, it's one. It is the one vast. Vast means all of these consciousnesses are one consciousness. Many bodies, many minds, worlds are many. Not only the objects in the world are many, worlds also are many. There are many worlds here. But all of them are objects to you, the consciousness, and it's one consciousness. Not one person. Persons are many. But the one consciousness appears as many persons. Not only that one consciousness is there, but you'll say, all right, I'm one consciousness, but to me, many things are appearing. There is a vast, vast universe out there. And I am this consciousness. Okay, fine. I'm one consciousness in all beings, but there's a vast physical universe. And there's a universe of mind, thoughts, feelings, emotions, ideas. All of these are there. And he says, no, they are all appearances in you. They are nothing apart from you. The entire universe, including galaxies and stars and planets, and the subtle universe of thoughts and ideas, not just your thoughts and ideas, all thoughts and ideas in all minds forever, including the mind of God, in all thoughts and ideas and knowledge and ignorance, all of that, they all are set in you, the consciousness. They are appearances in you. They have no existence apart from you. They could not exist apart from you. Because you are consciousness, you are existence itself. That's the meaning of the vast, Brahman. You are the vast, you are Brahman. That's why the next line is so thrilling. Tasmin loka shrita sarve tadu natyeti kaschana. In that Brahman, in that vastness, are set all the worlds, all the universes. They float in that vastness. And none can exist for a moment without that. None exceed that by even a millimeter. None can have any activity, any existence without that vast, that Brahman. And that you are. He says, Etad Vaitad, this is what you asked for. O Nachiketa, this is what you're talking about. See, all of the Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta steps are included here. First of all, I am pure consciousness. And how do I know that? You have to, first of all, most important, you have to know that like the Central Park guide pointing out the sights of Central Park to you. Here is this, see. He's pointing it out. Here it is. You are that right now. Not the body of the waking state, not the mind of the waking state, not even the body of the dream state. There's a body in the dream state. In your dream, you have a body. I mean, it's an appearance in the dream, but it's there. Not even the mind of the dreamer, not even the darkness of the deep sleep. That light, he says, that shukram, that white light to which all of these appear and disappear. What appears and disappears? The world of the waker and the waking person. The dream world and the dreamer, the dreaming person. And you can't say the sleeping person in the world of the deep sleeper because they are all merged into one darkness. That's basically a blank, a potential state, the potential seed state of deep sleep. All these states come and go. What we are talking about here, Brahman, that one consciousness, it's not a state. Oh, today I attained in the class, I attained the state of Brahman. You didn't understand anything at all. It's not a state. It is that to which all states come and go. Isn't it? Are you a waking state? Are you a state? If you were a state, like a waking state, then you would be gone when the dream comes. Yet you are there. You are the one who's experienced the dream. And when the dream goes away and deep sleep comes, you would be gone if you are the dream state. No, you are none of these states. Oh, so these states, waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, are separate? I'm separate. No. You are separate from them, but they are not separate from you. The waking and the dreaming and the deep sleep are all appearances and disappearances in you. They are not one thing other than you. And then Upanishad goes on to say, and this is not individual. It's happening at a cosmic level in all wakers, dreamers, and deep sleepers across the universe, all universes, physical universe and subtle universes, and the causal seed universe. All of these appear in one consciousness, and that you are, that is Brahman. All the worlds, he says, Sasmin Loka Shrita, the universes are set in you, they float in you like dreams. Not one dares to exceed you by 1 millimeter or 1 millisecond. Na tadu na tieti kaschana. No one can exceed you. It's like saying, it's like this. If all the ornaments are made of gold, so you can say all the ornaments, necklaces, bracelets, tiaras, and rings, they're all set in gold. If I use this language. And none of those ornaments can exceed the gold by even 1 millimeter. If it's a golden necklace, can you say the gold exists only up to this, and after this the gold doesn't exist? I mean, presuming it is a necklace at all, and presuming it exists and there's no other metal involved, it cannot. What is its reality? The appearance must be limited to that reality. So the reality is you. The universe is your appearance. But that also means that everything in the universe is one with you, everybody, including all those are beloved to you. All those who are beloved whom we have lost recently or in the past, they are all one with you actually. They appeared in you, they played about in you, and they disappeared back into you. But it also means all those you don't like, the annoying people in your life, and the ones who drive you wild, they're exactly one with you. They're none other than you. And they are as close to you as your most beloved person. And they are the beloved, the good and the bad and the annoying and all of them. What a tremendous vision. A vision. Normally we think of, I am a tiny being. Yeah, even if you tell me I'm consciousness, yeah, I'm a spark of consciousness. Such a big universe. And there's so many people. And history is so vast. Forget the history of the universe. Even human history is so vast. We had gone to the Museum of Natural History some time back. There was a display of dinosaurs. Here in what is now Manhattan, this place used to be underwater. And these huge sea monsters, dinosaurs who lived under the sea, would swim around here. And that was a fact a few million years ago, right here. There were dinosaurs walking around. And there is no upper west, upper east, and downtown. Nothing. No human beings in sight at all. Right here. So we think this universe is so vast, light years and light years. And it's so ancient, millions and millions of years. And I'm so tiny. Advaita Vedanta reverses it. It says, the universe is an appearance in you. You are the vast. The universe, no matter how enormous it seems, does not exceed you by even the least. Literally, that's the language. Does not, nothing, none of these words exceed you even in the least. So they are all contained. You're so vast, the universe is contained in you. And all of time is contained in you. Ashtavakra sings, Mai ananta mahambodho vishwa vichi swabhavata udetu vastamayatu name vriddhi navakshati. I am this infinite ocean in which the universe comes up like a wave. Let the waves arise, let the waves subside. I gain nothing thereby, nor do I lose anything. Let birth come, I gain nothing by that. Let old age, disease, and death come, I don't lose the least by that. Let people acclaim me and surround me in joy, I have not gained anything by that. It's a wave arising. And let people abandon me and let me die in loneliness, I have not lost anything by that. That's just the wave subsiding back into the formless ocean which I always was. So I am the vast ocean. The universe is a wave in me. We think about it just the other way around. Even if we are one reality, it's a vast reality. I'm just one wave in this ocean of reality. No. Here, Yama, is Lord of Death, is telling Nachiketa, you are the ocean itself. The universe is a wave in you. Etad vaitat. Oh, Nachiketa, this is the answer to the question you asked. What is your innermost reality? So this is this incredible, one mantra, so powerful, so soaring. And every mantra, almost every mantra after this will reiterate this truth. All right. An answer, Ramya has this question. Why do we not say that the body also reflects consciousness? Pranic functions being an indicator of this. Why only mind? Certainly body reflects. The living body, it is the mind, the buddhi, which catches the first reflection of consciousness. That's where the chidabhasa is. And because when the subtle body, when the buddhi is lit up, the whole subtle body is lit up. And when subtle body is lit up, the subtle body is connected to the physical body. So physical body carries that reflection. That's why this physical body feels conscious. It's not that only I feel aware in my mind. The body itself feels aware. The Upanishad says, nakagra, to the tips of my nails, I feel the spread of this consciousness. You see that, but consciousness is all pervasive. Why would you feel it up to the tips of your nails? Well, because this is not that all pervasive consciousness. This is the reflected consciousness. And the body which feels conscious has borrowed it from the subtle body, from the prana, from the senses. And the senses have borrowed it from the mind. And the mind, actually the place where it becomes conscious first, the reflected consciousness, is in the buddhi, the reflection of pure consciousness, chidabhasa. Yeah, certainly. Sudhir ji says, latest research on consciousness from Boston University Medical School says all decisions made by consciousness are usually made by unconsciously, half second prior. If so, this may prove that a body you think you have free will. However, looking deeper at the higher level, no free will, as decisions are appearing as bubbles. Correct. But remember, again, as Vedanta students, we will say decisions are made by the mind, by the intellect, buddhi. Decisions are not made by consciousness. Krishna says this. He says, Prakrityeva karmani kriyamanani sarvasha ya pashyati tathatmanam akartaram sha pashyati. I think this is in the 13th chapter. Material nature does everything in this world, from the vast material actions in the world outside to decision making in the brain. I'm saying brain. And Krishna says that material nature does everything. Consciousness is the witness, it does nothing. One who realizes that realizes I am the non-active consciousness, non-doer consciousness. That is freedom.
Namaskar, Maharaj. In the last section of Shankaracharya's Bhashyam on this one, he is talking about our situation, that even if we know that we are Brahman, and Siddha hone par bhi आत्मैकत्व विज्ञान बारंबार करे, कहे जाने पर भी स्थिर नहीं होता.
Right.
So all the time we have to listen.
Right. And that's why that's actually not the last portion of the Bhashya. That's an introduction.
That's the smaller version.
No. That's the introduction to the next mantra.
Oh, okay.
Number 9.
Sorry.
No, but it's right. Such a powerful statement by Yama. So are you enlightened? You'll say, well, maybe next class. And that's why Shankaracharya says, again and again you hear, and yet our intellects are shaken. And then he says, numerous logicians, Tarkika, I think he will use that term. So, by another kind of reasoning.
The Viparita Bhavana?
Yes, and you listen to other opinions, other reasoning. Harvard University, Yale, Cambridge has said this. Oh, now I get confused. Now, you will not get confused if the breakthrough is there. Once the guide has pointed out to you, this is the Bow Bridge, this is the San Remo building, and you will never think that that is now the, what is the other one, El Dorado building or something like that. You know that now. You will not be confused about it.
But you have to come back to that, right?
No, you don't have to come back anymore. Because once, to get that clarity, you have to come back. But once you have got that clarity, you may come back to it because you'll enjoy it. But you will not need it anymore. Why? You don't depend on the text or the guide anymore, because this Atman, Brahman, is continuously available to you. It's all, once you have recognized it, how will you miss it? Because all the time it's available to you. When your eyes are open, it's available. With eyes closed, it's available to you as this one consciousness. So once you get it, it will not miss it. But then he says it is difficult. It's difficult because our minds are shaken and swayed by various kinds of reasoning, various impurities in the mind, which see, the two main impurities are desire, worldliness, which keeps forcing us outwards into the world. And there are two ways. One is temptation, one is terror. So temptation means I want something, and therefore my attention is focused on that. Terror means anxiety, fear, nagging, kind of anxiety. I'm afraid of something out there. Again, attention is focused in the world. No temptation, no fear about the world. That is a sign of a purified mind. And the second level of purity required is stillness of the mind. Unless the mind is still, this teaching will not be absorbed. Sri Ramakrishna, his words are very simple. He hears all this discussion going on, then he comments, his simple comment in Bengali. He said, Katha gulo to bhalo, dharana hawa chai. These words are good, they're wise words, but it must be absorbed. This must be assimilated, these teachings. So Ramakrishna says this. Assimilation requires a very strong and steady mind, that I am going to hold on to this, a laser focus, and I will not be shifted from this. We easily get shifted from this. And our laser focus and steadiness is with the world. I'm holding on to the world, I will not be shifted from the world. No, reverse it. I'm holding on to Vedanta. I am Brahman. I will not be shifted from that. Whatever the world does, it can come and go as it pleases. All right. Let us wrap it up now.
Thank you.
Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.